Beautiful. Welcome to Monday, September 7th, our second or third staff meeting of the fall. Welcome, gents, ladies. We don't have any new guests today, so let's just get at it. If you want to take 30 seconds, staff, to get your notes out, get your Branch 21 journals out, and anything you can do for a proper debrief, we'll get it rolling. And we can start with Karina because I just spoke to her. We'll do a quick what's hot, and would you appreciate it? Get things rolling. Karina Marquez Sterling, you're up, my friend.
Hello. What is hot is we have an 8-day week this week, so we still have tomorrow to make up for any lack of sales that are happening this week. And I appreciate all of you. I know for most of you, this is your first full week with all of your functions. And I think where there's definitely area of opportunity, it's cool to see some of you excelling in some areas. And I'd love to see the hunger and the drives to grow yourself. So it's been nice.
Good. Very nice. And what do you appreciate? That was what you appreciate, right?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. Let's go, Lonnie. You're up, my friend.
What's hot is I'm about a week or two ahead of my schoolwork, and what I appreciate is time management.
Oh, branch trained. Oh my gosh. How much easier is the start of this semester compared to last year when you thought it was so hard? Remember last year when you thought it was hard like these guys do? What's the biggest difference? Like what was stressful last year that this year is like, eh?
I think it's just, being balanced on, I'm not in that high emotion, low logic state, and just using the heck out of your planner and doing what you got to do.
I love it. I love it. Good. Let's go to Sierra, and then I think Sam is hopping back on, and then we'll go to Seti.
What's hot is, the team today, I made it in time. I appreciate the sports mode on my car because I was flying down the highway because people were just Florida drivers, man. I'm just like,
Good. You're so funny. Oh, be careful when you're driving that fast. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Florida drivers that she uses a sports feature in her own car.
Like the pot calling the kettle black, right? You ever heard that term? Let's go to Sebi, and then I think Sammy is trying to hop back on. She disappeared, so maybe she'll jump back in.
Can you hear me better now? It's a better sound?
A lot better.
Awesome. So what's hot is actually TLA. It was amazing. Even though I was still in the hotel lobby, by the way. That's why I'm wearing the mask and everything.
Got
It
it.
was still great value and awesome, like finance. That whole course towards the end of it was amazing. So
Yeah, that wasn't even the full course module. That was just the intro video. So
Exactly.
Sarah's the first one to post up on there. Oh my gosh, I love her. Good.
For sure.
And that's what you appreciate, right? Okay, good. And I think Sammy is back. Sammy, we'll go to you, my friend. We'll go, what's hot? What do you appreciate? Good timing.
what is hot was the first staff meeting, TLA meeting for the month. So that was pretty hot. I just like seeing everyone there. And then what I appreciate is my Wi-Fi, like, working again.
There you go. Good. Well, let's get started, everyone. If you guys, and Liv will be joining us in just a second. If you could make sure you have your notes out and also your Branch 21 journals. And I want to start off with just a common theme. You have the agenda already. And as we start to get through these, you guys will start to learn how to feel like a branch or district manager. And Lonnie can tell you about this, and Karina for sure, but these meetings become just routine. Like the flow will become fast. And this is our third one, but only second one with me, okay? But the first thing I want to remind you of is that assistant manager matters because, when you are an assistant in the fall and spring, not just doing TLA, you're already, accelerating yourself, okay? And I don't say this for the whole group, but the people that will actually have an office to run next summer and or the lead roles in our big offices like the pilot, you really have to be on the staff in the fall and the spring to accomplish that. So I know you know this, and it's going to get to the point where you're like, yeah, I know. Why do I keep repeating this? Because when it hits to D2, one of the needs of D2 is a reminder of that you're making progress, right? So I want to continue to put that in your face. And sometimes you don't hear it until you need it. Who knows what I'm talking about? You don't hear it until you need it. And of course, we talk about the objective is for you to really impact your opportunities for next summer. Okay, not just financially. This is not a financial position. Your income should come from your sales and being best branch managers possible. So the agenda has been sent out. So make sure you have this starred on the AM page. If you don't already, go to the AM page. star the agenda I just sent out, and I would put this in your on your desktops under staff meeting files, so that every week, even though I'm going to send it out like Jeff, I already got it. That's how I want you to do it. Okay. So I'll spare having to read through everything. We did that last time. So let's start off, go through your notes, or if you haven't already done so, knowing that I'm going to ask you this every week, go ahead and jot down a few thoughts of lessons from this week. What are some Cutco office related, pilot related, running in a high powered organization or overall business related lessons? Take a few seconds, either to get your notes or write a few thoughts down. Okay. Friendly reminder that this is where you should be using your journals if possible. Okay. And let's just get things, another 15, 20 seconds. And as you remember from the last time we ran it, I'll have you guys share, and then Karina and I will share some thoughts that we wanted you to notice from this past week. Okay. All right, anyone want to go first? Anyone ready? Oh, still ready? Good. Sierra, go for it. Wait, Hard Rock, what location sweatshirt do you have? Let's see. Let me see it. Ooh, that's a nice one. Cayman Islands. All right, cool. So lessons from this week, go ahead.
So for me, one of the bigger lessons was yesterday I was doing some post interviews with Karina. I really learned how to do that better this week overall. And I think I managed my mini team very well this week, or I feel like I did, but I just need to find a good balance between managing myself and my mini team.
Got it. Yeah. And that goes back to kind of what Lonnie was saying earlier about it's a lot easier time management, but that's a muscle that when you first start flexing it, you ever work out after having not worked out for a while, how sore you are the first few times? It's the same thing, but once you get it, you don't get as sore, so to speak. So good, Sierra. Can you mention maybe one or two things you observed or got better at or learned in the post interview that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so I did 3 post interviews yesterday. On my first one, I was still kind of like unfamiliar with the script. I was stumbling quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And then by the second one, I realized, okay, I can just I started realizing I'm talking way too fast. So I started pacing myself better throughout the entire time. And then by the third one, I think I was just more comfortable with in like showing my confidence that I am not kind of like a person, I'm not a teenager. Like I don't want to seem like I'm just a random teenager that's doing the post interview. I want to be taken seriously. Right.
And the whole, I couldn't even imagine or didn't even know that you were that young. Just by how you carried yourself will naturally start to play. I personally don't care that anyone's in high school or college or whatever it is. That shouldn't come across if you're doing it with confidence. Second thing I want you guys to be noting is anytime you're in a situation like Sierra just mentioned of I wasn't as comfortable, but as I did more, I got better. Ready? Welcome to like life. That's everything. But specific to TLA, that's where the number one most utilized tool in developing training is used. Does anyone know? I want to guess, not Karina. The number one, even Lonnie can guess this. What's the number one most, if you're a trainer, whether you're a physical trainer, sales trainer, teacher trainer, medical trainer, what's the number one most utilized or best tool to use to train people on anything? You want to guess? Sammy.
To motivate them and inspire them.
Okay, that's part of it. Cool. But what's a great tool for training to help someone get more and more comfortable? Sierra.
Help like train them more. The more you train them, the better you're gonna get. Like practice makes perfect kind of thing. Okay,
that's part of it. Frequency. Lonnie, you want to save the day?
You just get them to do it.
Okay, Sebi, give it a shot.
You have to work with them.
Okay. Karina, do you know where I'm going with this, Karina? Okay, good. All of those answers are good answers, by the way. Karina, what's a great tool if someone's doing something for the first time, especially? This tool helps people progress and get better faster. Karina?
This tool helps them progress and get better faster?
Yeah. What training tool, what method helps people get better at something they're new at and they haven't done?
Method. Role play.
Yeah, role play. That's it. How many times have you role played, right? We didn't do a lot of role play in your initial training because it's virtual. But back in the day, this sounds like old school, right? Back in the day, there's a good hour and 15 minutes of training each day, day 1 and day 2, dedicated when we were live, breaking up into role play partners. Okay. So what do they say? Practice makes perfect, or Sierra says, do it more and more and more. The same thing to your point. Good. Good, Sierra. Who else wants to share? Let's go back to lessons from the week. I'd like to go next. Sammy, go ahead. And then we'll go to Sebi and then Lonnie.
So one thing that I took was be likable and a mix of professional, kind of what Sarah just said, and also what you give, you get, and that's what I've just been seeing as I go. The more effort and time you put into being an assistant manager and wanting results, you'll get the results.
Yeah. Another way to look at it, sometimes, likable and professional, like that registers for people. Another way, firm but fair. Firm but fair. Like when I go into an interview, Sammy, maybe that was registers for you. Me personally, I don't really jive with I don't care about being likable when I run an interview. However, for me, what registers is firm, but fair. Firm, but firm, man, I wouldn't want to mess with them, but man, I definitely would respect and love working for that organization or under her. Good. Let's go to Sebi, Lonnie, and then Karina and I'm going to hit you with a few here.
So I learned a lot about time management, more schoolwork this week with all the APs, and also with more about communication between me and Karina.
Uh-huh.
And learn more about also with recruitment with PRs, more about PR calling, more about setting things up with that. And also with the post interviews as well, about just learning how to just connect with people also with interviews, of asking more questions, developing questions, get more about, yeah.
Yeah, and so ready. This is really, I'm going to kind of make it really simple. What is so interesting is so much of what you guys are feeling empowered with and the skills you're learning are just doing things where you have to converse with someone like an adult would. That's all it really is, right? Regardless, like Sarah's got a script, that's great, and it's a post-interview. But at the end of the day, you're having a professional conversation. And most people your age aren't having to do that in the real world. Like most students right now, high school, college, it's all in theory or classroom setting versus just applicable, like really getting out there. So that's kind of the simple way of thinking, gosh, all right, it's uncomfortable. Gosh, I'm not getting the result, or my stats are off. Great, ready? Just keep doing it, and eventually, worst case scenario, just your repetition gets you through all the bumps and all the bruises. So good, Sebi. Lonnie, how about you coming back? Gosh, after running a branch, after 2 years at TLA, what are you learning this week?
This week, yeah, I'm learning. The main thing too is delegating posts as to who posts what applicant, and just relearning the schools. We have more schools to learn.
That's right. And then go back to the first one, please, so the other guys and girls can learn. When you say delegating the post, what she's referring to is, okay, if I'm the recruiter, meaning I'm the one that greets people like Luke taught on Saturday, I'm the one that plays the video, I'm the one that cuts the penning, I'm the one that explains the job through the interview. At the end, let's say there's 10 people. If we're really crushed for time, there's, of the 10, a certain amount that I'll talk to, and then a certain amount I'll give to, let's say, Sierra, and a certain amount that I might give to Sebi. Right, Lonnie, can you share what you learned in terms of best way and who, whether either percentage of or like how the methodology of who you give to who?
Yeah, typically, so with that method, normally like the sharp kids, the interviewer should like give them a call and post them. And then, and we also look at schools, so what schools they come from as well.
Yep. And remember, we're in a recruiting business. We're not in an Ivy League business, right? We're not, Sierra, you appreciate this. We're not Georgetown, right? We're not Georgetown University where we say, well, you got to have a GPA. You have, like, that's not our company is give everyone a chance, as many people as possible, and, give them the opportunity. There are people that we don't give the opportunity to. It's very rare, but there are people we don't. So when you look at it that way is, all right, well, who do I really need to get to training? So if there are 10 people on my interview, and I'm the Zoom end or the Apex platform ends, that fancy program that Luke was showing you, and you start calling, like, who do we prioritize? So here are a couple of notes to take. Like, here's who I would prioritize first. Okay. Number one, a personal recruit from a top rep on the team. Like, to me, automatically, like if I have 3 people out of 10 that come from Sierra, they're all Sierra's best friends or Sebi's, friends from the cross country team, and I know they're the same like type of person, type of caliber, type of student, then I'm going to make sure I talk to that person. Why? Because there's continuity. Okay. It doesn't mean if I give someone to Lonnie, for example, that they're going to show at a lower rate. What it means is the people I take have a chance of showing at a higher rate. Right? I'll say that in a different way, maybe a little more simpler. It's not really going to hurt for me to give someone to Sammy to run the post after I run the interview. But if I run the post, it could help the show. That's the only difference. Okay, good. The second person I would prioritize that I would want to keep is someone that comes from a key school that you're trying to get networked into. Let's say we haven't had a rep at the U school in a while. We really would, and someone was in that interview. Okay, gosh, I'll make sure I get them in. Okay, Karina, anything else you would add to that as far as delegating posts, or so these guys understand that, you know, they're not getting part of me said that because I don't want you to think, oh, we're just giving you the leftovers and they're not even good people. Everyone we give you is a good person. Others we tell you not to accept them. Karina, anything else?
Yeah, the goal is really to reach as many people as possible. So there's people actually that I've accepted that I didn't think I would based on their application. But then when I speak to them, I'm like, oh, you know what? You actually sound like a sharp kid. But now that there's more of you, we have more time to reach more people versus before it was just Mila and I. And it's like, all right, well, we have 20 people to post. We have another interview coming up, and then we have a meeting. We got to, base it off the application. And, we're just going to, let's say, interview these 15 and these 5, we're not going to call. But now we have people
or
like
they
you
get
guys
a call, or they get a call and it's really
later.
rushed. Or
Yeah.
it's a lot later, which means it's not as fresh in their head. Okay, you guys give me a thumbs up if you understand what's going on here. This is already a good lesson. Good, thanks, Lonnie. All right, let's do this. Let me switch over to lessons that Karina and I wanted you to have learned this past weekend. Meaning, you may have learned these, but I want to make sure you see this, and you guys remember that this is a normal, we'll call it a breakdown of where you should spend your time in a high-powered cut-go office. You guys remember this one? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Karina, can you be my screenshotter? My shift command 5 person?
Yeah.
I'll let you set that up. Let me know when you're ready.
Gotcha.
So shift command 5.
All right. Done.
Ready? Okay, cool. And then this one too. And we'll send those to the group on the WhatsApp right now. So right now, I would say from now until the middle of October, maybe through Halloween. I couldn't think of the holiday. Halloween. So for now, so we'll call it 6 to 8 weeks. The first 6 to 8 weeks of the campaign, we are going to develop people. We are going to focus on driving sales, but really the mentality is how do we get our army as big as possible? That's the key right now. Even if our sales are pretty solid, that's the key right now. So I want to revisit. So what I want you to have learned, last week we talked about building a campaign. Okay. In fact, these are the 3 things I told you about last week. Okay. Last week we talked about watch how we build an SMRA program. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago I covered this. Watch how we build the next few weeks the SMRA program. Watch the phases of recruiting and how intense it is and how important it is. And then watch the next 3 weeks. So what I want to do is I want to talk about, and maybe Karina, I'll have you start first with, hey, what's going well when it comes to building the campaign? What's our challenge? And we'll give them a chance to guess, and we'll tell them what we're doing to overcome. So let me say this in another way. Every campaign, we always have a plan. Every campaign, we start it, and every campaign, we put a lot of effort. But every campaign's different in terms of, okay, does it start off really hot, or is it really cold, or somewhere in between? Right now, we're not really cold, we're definitely not really hot. We're kind of just, I don't know, actually, if you want to be really honest, we're kind of like this. Like that. You like the sound effect? Is that accurate?
Yeah, one more time. Just one more.
Yeah, okay. That's the professional way to explain it. Karina, you want to share, and you guys want you to take notes on this because we'll revisit this again next week to see what we just did. What's going well with building the campaign? What's our biggest challenge and what are we doing? And we'll have them guess our action steps.
Yeah. So what's going well is I believe we're a lot more efficient with our training. So just to give you guys some perspective, in the summer, we would have, let's say, 30 people in the first day of training. And by the end of the first day, we'd have like 20 or 22. And then by the next day, we'd have like maybe 15. So we would lose half of who we'd have in training. So this was something we've been working on all summer, but it got to the point where Mila and I, we had no way of accurately predicting a projection because it was just like, all right, well, let's see what happens if he sticks around. But Luke and Jeff have really, nailed training recently. And this past 2 weeks actually was very efficient. So I would say that's what's going well. We had 11 in the first day, which is smaller, but then we launched 8 out of the 11. And I mean, really out of those 11, 2 of them probably shouldn't have been signed it just because of a mistake. And the other one is rescheduled for next week. So we're not really losing the people as much as we used to, which is great.
Yeah.
Now what's challenging is we need
real
more.
quick, does anyone want to guess as to why you think besides Luke and Jeff, she said, are getting better at running training? That's true, but we can only get so much better at running training. Like we're already, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're already a good athlete, let's say, you're not all of a sudden going to turn into a pro. You're just going to get a little bit better if you're already performing. So anyone want to guess as to what's probably causing efficiency, Sammy?
I feel like, well, 2 things. One, since we've had more time in the summer to like have growth within our division and our team, that would like be more impressive to the people in training and they would want to be a part of it more. So it like motivates them to be a part of like a team that's already like doing well. So that's actually one part of it. You ever go to a party? I know maybe too soon, we're still in pandemic, but you ever go to a party and the moment you walk in, it's going to be dead? You just it feels like, or a family party, high school, college party, you go, you just know it smells. Maybe it doesn't physically smell, but it smells like dead. And then you'll go to another person's house for a party or a family get together and you go, man, this, like the moment you walk in, you're like, this is jumping. And that's the same thing. When the sales culture is low, you can smell it the moment someone hops on a Zoom. It's just, it's from the way the manager's speaking. It's just the examples are off. But when you're humming, like you're saying, everyone kind of wants to be a part of it. That's one part of it. Cool. You had a second reason. Was there a second one? And it might just be also, I didn't really know how good the people that recruited me or told me about the job were doing. I feel like since there's more people on the team throughout the summer that have been like telling people or posting things rather than in the beginning of the summer or the end of the spring, it might be more effective that way to say, oh, my friend's on the team. She sold. Okay.
Yeah, I think that relates. If you guys were on the Next Level call Saturday, the early session, I think that has to do with PR culture. Like there's a heavy culture. Oh, everyone's doing this job. All right. If you live in Broward County, you do Cutco. That's just kind of how it works. Or you've heard about it 10, 15, 20, 1 million times. Okay. Sierra, how about you?
For me, what I think it is during summer, this is my mentality, how I came in. Oh, it's just a job. Like, let me sign up for it. Like, let's see how it goes. But for fall, I feel like if it takes a different kind of mentality because you're in a mentality of, okay, I want to be more responsible. I want to manage this job and school because there's a combo of both. During summer, I wasn't working and I thought I could just.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but you make a really good point. People who are actually looking for work this time of the year during school, it's a different mentality, I guess. Right? People who are trying to work are really trying to make money if it's about money, or people who are trying to work are really trying to get ahead. So that's a really good point. Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay, Karina, how about you share anything else on what's going well, or you can transition to like challenges right now?
Yeah. Well, I think the challenge is we just need more in training, right? So now that we're efficient, can we get 20 in the first day, right? And launch 15 to 18. And that's where we make up the gap of sales. I think there's a lot of reasons where it just trickles down. The first culprit is we didn't set as many PRs as an office. I think we only set 80. And our target with the projections that we had first shared with you guys was 150. So we were 70 short. So it's like a significant drop. And that trickles down, right, into everything. So I know that for you guys, it was your first week setting PRs for the first time, but just don't take that lightly. A lot of the PRs that you guys set, we actually launched those people. Which
let me say it a little bit more firm, and I'm not expecting Karina to do this. Ready? Okay, you the whole, oh, it's my first time, I'm not comfortable, like that's no longer applicable. Like you guys are now assistant managers and you guys are already better than the majority of assistant managers in our company because you're already 2 weeks experience in the pilot. I know it doesn't seem like it, because what Karina's really good at doing, what we're really good at doing in the pilot is making you really humbled and feeling like, okay, well, I'm still trying to earn, but you know, a couple of weeks from now, or a couple of days from now, a couple of months from now, you'll go, oh my gosh. And you'll compare yourself to how other people are trained. You'll go, like, in a respectful way, not in a arrogant way. You'll go, oh my gosh, like, I thought I wasn't doing well, but I'm really ahead of everyone. And you'll go, wow, pilot train, that's cool. All right. So food for thought. And I guess that's another way of saying, look, God, you can't fall short during gold period, during this right here, when it's heavy recruiting, we can't have a reason for what we're behind on be, oh, well, the assistants aren't hitting their number right now. Okay. Sammy, go ahead. You had a question.
I actually just a comment to add on
Sure.
to what you said. So like I noticed during the TLA meeting that we had this past Saturday, you did mention like, oh, like this is how you do a post, this is how you do PDI call, and I'm like, oh, what? I've already been doing this. This is cool.
Yeah, of course,
Like,
of course.
duh.
And that's the advantage of being in the pilot. That's the whole point. Good
Yeah.
point. Really good point. Karina, anything else? How about more action steps or more thoughts on other challenges or what we're going to do to come out of it?
Yeah, I think having anyone and everyone triple threat is going to be the way we come back from this. Email blasting, we'll talk about later if you guys know anyone that goes to certain schools. Email blasting is going to be a huge help too if we can execute that quickly. And then, of course, the rest of you hitting your 5 right now, only Lily and Sammy have hit their 5. And I know that was set up because of everyone's plans this weekend. But making sure today and tomorrow you're really intentional about hitting your 5 and then some, right? We need to kind of make up for lost ground. So if you're able to set more than 5, it's going to mean more now.
Yeah. I would even say 2 more things. Number one, that can you genuinely, not just because I said it, can you get to the point where you're not just getting 5, your minimum is 10 every week? Like 5 is where we say, okay, you got to get at least 5 because we know you're in school. We know you guys have extracurriculars, et cetera, et cetera. Excuse me. But really, once you're really on a roll, we just, for example, we're just under 20, 25, 30 PR set. That's like roughly, I don't even know the exact number. Karina, do you know what we are for the cycle? Since including yesterday and where we are today?
20.
20. Okay, we're at 20. Going into today, San Juan was at 120. And what was the difference, right? Is that David said, I just told my assistants, like, now we're not messing around anymore. You guys have to all hit your number. And he's got 8 people on staff. They all hit their 5 already. So that's 40. And his SMRs only had to get 60 more. Now, keep in mind, it's also different because they're in Puerto Rico and then they don't celebrate Labor Day the same way. So it's not like, for us, we are dealing with a little bit of a challenge yesterday because it's the Labor Day Sunday, which is a little bit harder to get a hold of people. But that's why we're going to make an effort to get more hold of more people for today. Okay. That's the first thing. Good. Ready? As you're taking notes, here are the top 3 biggest things coming out of this week to help us recover and put us back on track. Number 1, we need more quality applications. That means we need more people from the schools we want, which includes from the triple threat and social media day that we just did, which has been really productive so far. Karina mentioned email blasting. And then number 3, just you guys hitting your calls, your 5 to 10 for the week. That's it, right? So social media, email blasting, and hitting your 5 to 10 for the week. Okay. And I just, I think it's really important to note that your role is really important. Ready? Watch this. And this is I just added this to the meeting. Think about 1 or 2 or 3 things that you did that were assistant manager related this past week. Just think about it. You don't even have to write it down. Just think of 2 or 3 things you physically did or were saying or doing to be an assistant manager. Okay. Now think about if you know how many other assistants on this Zoom were doing the same thing. Now imagine, just think about what you're like, focus, like pick a card in your head, pick a number in your mind. I'm just kidding. You see those magic tricks on YouTube? Okay. So think of the function, think of what you did, think of how many other assistants were doing it. Now I want you to take away all that and imagine Karina had to do it. Right? What comes to mind? Like Sierra, what function did you think of? Was it the ace of spades?
The post interview yesterday.
Post interviews. How many did you run?
I did 3.
You did 3. Okay, so imagine adding 3 more to her plate. How long were each of those 3?
They were like 10-ish minutes. So.
Yeah, it's 7 if it's really fast. 10 to 12 minutes if you're taking a little bit more time. So how much time is that? It's like 30 to 40 minutes. So don't take, I'm just doing 2 or 3 posts. 3 posts is 40 minutes of Karina's life that she is not able to impact something maybe that's a little bit more impactful for the office that day or that hour or that second. Cool. Lonnie, what did you think of?
PCs and just PDI.
Yeah. Okay. How many PCs did you run this week?
I did 3.
3. And how long are the PCs? Even longer.
Like 15.
15 plus. Yeah. So you're talking about an hour of Karina's time. Okay. And I could go on and on. All right. Karina, do you want to comment on that? Just, this is kind of a technical way of saying, hey, we appreciate you, but this is more of I'm also want them to not undervalue just, oh, it's not just a post I'm running. Oh, I'm not just running a PC, like and that was just Sierra only. That was just Lonnie only. As a collective, what you're really doing is you're opening it up for Karina to do her thing. And me when I'm stepping in to do my thing. Karina, anything you'd add?
Yeah, and I think when you're on staff, you start realizing everything that it takes to make the office run, right? As a machine or a wheel, and you guys are little parts in that. And not that I can't do those things, but I need to steer the ship, right? I need to do the things that will impact the office on a higher scale, right? That, like for example, you guys don't know how to run training or how to run advanced training or how to run team meeting or how to have conversations with anyone over 10K, right? There's things that like move the business on a larger scale that by you guys operating more, it opens up for me to do those things. And it gives me an opportunity to also do those things, also run posts with, number one, we can just reach more people, and right. I can reach people that go to certain schools, or I can help with the receptionist. So yeah, it's huge, the fact that you guys are here.
Yeah, 2 things, ready? So it's opening up Karina to be more effective and steer the ship, but it's also scaling out things that instead of, for example, having one person sell, 10 people sell. 10 people selling will sell more than one person selling. Even if it's Adriana Rivera, right? Who's number 1 in the nation. If I have a team of 30 and you have Adriana Rivera, we'll still sell more than you. Doesn't matter. Okay. Great example. My wife and I, Heidi and I were watching a lot of Ugly Delicious. It's this Netflix documentary from a top chef. And the topic was pizza. So let's say you had a world renown. And this guy's name is, his pizza shop's called Locali. He has one here on South Beach. Locali in Brooklyn, New York. And you are world renowned. You're getting world acclaim in magazines, and people are lining up out your door to go to your pizza shop because of the pizza you made. The way, the technique, the secret sauce that you're not allowed to show on TV, okay? If all of a sudden you don't have someone at the front to take the orders, you're taking more orders, right? Right? And then you got someone who's got to take out the trash all the time, and someone who's got to do the orders and seating people and all that, ready? If you got famous because you made the pizzas, ready? You got to keep the chef open so that he or she can make the pizzas, not ring up someone at the register. That's one less pizza that he's putting attention into, right? And that's kind of like the way that I see it. Any questions on that? Of course, I'm going to bring it back to food every time. All right, cool. Speed of the leader. This has to do with sales, okay? I'm just going to be very upfront. You've got till tomorrow, so obviously this isn't below or above standard yet, but of the assistants, we only have 2 of you that are even on the board, and only 1 of you has hit the minimum of 500, which is same as at 752, and Sierra's at 169. So that means not even on the board, Lonnie, not even on the board, Sebi, yet, okay? It is so critical because I want you to see this is the whole team right now. It doesn't include probably another 1,000 or 2,000 that's been sold since maybe Karina and I did this. But if you look, take out Andy and Jordan at the top, because we never count the CSPs. They're kind of doing their own thing. Ava Montero, she's a new trainee. Okay. Angel is there. Angel's at 1,000. Brian Bustamante is a trainee. Giovanni's a CSP. Don't count him. Emily. Okay. And then is it Annika? Anaika. Okay. So if you take a look, right, our highest assistant isn't even top 5 in the office yet. Okay, you have all today, you have all tomorrow. So it's just really important that we're finishing strong. And remember, we said this, you can have a hard week. You can't have back-to-back bad weeks. Yes, I know we had prep Saturday. Yes, I know we had prep, but it's a holiday, you have an extra day. Yes, I know this is your first full week with being an assistant, but the ability to find a way to get this done, just to get even over 500, everybody, is a muscle I want to make sure that you're not forgetting to flex every single week. Karina, do you have any other thoughts on this? It's pretty straightforward what I'm saying here.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We just for your income, for your confidence, and for your leadership abilities. This can't be, you know, and I'm here to help you guys. So if you want to reach out, I know, you know, and props to Sammy. She sold 750, but Sammy's also, I mean, I don't even know how many demos you did this week, dude. But you had a lot of no sales, and I'm motivated to help Sammy with, you know, helping with her closing ratio. What's up?
Yeah, and keep in mind, take this as an encouragement of standards, not as this is not a threat. If you can't handle making sure you sell consistently in the assistant role, then we may have to revisit whether you're on staff or not. That's totally fine by me. That's totally okay. But I don't think we ever have to get to that point with anyone on the Zoom. That's my point. Sammy, you're about to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a question. For this week, the newsletter was 750.
Yes, the newsletter in the fall is now 750. I'll talk about this. Actually, I'll just go to the slide right now. The standard minimum, okay?
It's 5.
You always think, you always think it's newsletter, but like absolute come hell or high water, like $500. You gotta get one good order or 2 solid average orders in.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so far so good. So let's go. Karina, you wanted to put this on the miscellaneous note real quick. Just taking notes after Tuesday PDI.
Oh yeah. So I know all of you had some pretty good combos this past week. I'm gonna help facilitate those, and I'm gonna give you guys some templates because I want to make sure after those conversations that notes are taken in the debrief chat for a few reasons, right? Number one, it helps you as a coach kind of debrief on your own, like, all right, how did that conversation go? It helps the rep, you know, because they're like, oh wow, they're actually listening, they're paying attention, and now the rep has clear written action steps, and it helps me because now I can be in the loop of those conversations, and then I can help you. So let's say Sebi has a conversation with Alessa, and then he's, you know, gone for Labor Day weekend. I can look at those notes and then follow up for him, right? Because I sometimes talk to people on your team, so it's just helpful for everyone. So what I'm gonna do, probably at the end of today or tomorrow, I'll give you guys a template like, hey, if you do a skills check with someone, here's how your notes should look like. It should have like these points to it. If you do a day 11 PC or whatever.
Yeah, Karina, you posted something earlier for me. I think you removed it from the list here. Can you just give him an example and post it on the WhatsApp, or is that's better later?
I can do it real quick if you I have it here.
So if you look at the WhatsApp right now, this is an example of what she's talking about. So that it's one thing, oh, I had the PDI call. It's another thing to say, all right, I was really organized and this is what I got done. Okay, and this actually ties exactly into weekly TLA this Wednesday, which is called, it's a method called RPM, which is being intentional. So Karina, tell me when you post it.
I just did. I don't know
okay,
if you got it.
So that's an idea. That's an example of, okay, when you finish the skills check, these are the notes that you should have taken and what direction you should have after the call. Okay, any questions? Pretty straightforward, right? Thumbs up if you feel me. Pretty easy. Good. All right, real quick, one of my favorite parts. Hey, what are you curious about? We'll do this every week. What are you curious about in our business? What are you curious about on the management side, on the Cutco Vector side? Yeah, we'll do a quick run of everyone. And Karina, who else would be joining us for the AMI portion? Because I feel like I want to push them off a little bit.
Push them up or off?
Later, push them because it's already 3:42. I think knowing that part's not that long, I think I could use more time with this crew. Who else to join?
Yeah, it'd be Naveed, and Kayla.
Okay, can you let them know that they can certainly hop on earlier, but we probably won't get to the part they need to be on until about 4:15, 4:20.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so what are you curious about? We'll go Lonnie first. Actually, no, you should go last because you're most experienced. We'll go Sebi. We'll go guys first this time. Or guy. Man first.
So to be for the promotion, I guess, for AMI.
I'm sorry?
This is for promotion for AMI, right?
No, what are you curious about?
Well, I'll come back to you. Sammy, what are you curious about?
I'm curious about, I was just wondering how many people in TLA end up running a branch per year, like on average. I was just wondering.
That's a great question. So to give you an idea, we had 86 people that we officially accepted, probably an additional 4 to 10 people that were late acceptance. So call it 90 total. To give you a cool idea, last year was 60 or 55. So we're way extra. In fact, let me show you a really cool compare. You guys will appreciate this. And think it'll get you pumped here. Okay, here. Take a look at your screen. Okay, so this is comparison. So last year we had 15 people who were at the accepted as next level. I'm sorry. We had 15 people who got accepted back to TLA from next level, and we accepted 83. Okay. If you look, this first prep, we had 40 versus 19 the year before. And then we had 70 versus the year before we were at, anyway, I can't find it real quick. So to give you an idea of that, we'll probably have 15 to 20 that earn a branch. So it's less than 20%. So it really is the best of the best of the best end up earning a branch. And then the next best 20 to 30% will earn full-time assistant positions. And then the next best 20 to 30% will earn part-time summer assistant positions. And the reason these are a big deal is because the part-time, like that, there's the top 20, 30 that earn a branch, top 20 to 30 that are head assistants, next 20 or 30 that are part-time assistants. The part-time assistants will make minimum $10,000, like on the low end. And then the full-time assistants make more, and then the branches obviously are branches. So
Yeah.
it really is the best of the best. Go ahead.
And to follow that up, I was just wondering if, like, say you don't run a branch, it's like district, is it district office manager? Dumb?
The dumb.
Yeah, the progression is a district manager's year-round full-time position. For the summer,
Yeah, for the summer.
a branch runs their own office. Then there's full-time and part-time assistants. The district operations manager is like the head of the assistants, in a way.
Oh,
Not every office has a dom. Like this year it was Karina. We some offices have a dom, some offices don't.
okay. I was just
Sometimes, like for example, David Vargas is going to do $1 million in sales this year. He's one of the top offices in the country. He doesn't have a dom. He just has a bunch of full-time and part-time. It's all like he leads it. This year we had Karina as the dom. Good question. Okay. Lonnie, how about you? We'll go the opposite of experience. What are you curious about?
Yeah, I guess what's been haunting me since branch is just knowing.
Haunting?
Yes, because I'm like, ah. So I think for me, it's just like delegating SMRAs and driving SMRAs with tangible numbers. Like I already know that for every hour on average, they should call about 20 to 25, which is equivalent to about 2 PR set. But is there a an easy way to calculate how many PR set if I want to get a certain amount of reps launched that week, how many PRs do I need to set?
Oh, Lonnie, you don't want me to tell you that you should know that, do you?
Oh man. Well, because because I know okay, so the Karina's like, yeah, because I was thinking, because I know with PR set, that kind of changes, but you should at least have minimum 40% plus, and then 50% of what you set for training will show, but then there's drops of.
Yeah, it's just really cool. I'm giving you a hard time on purpose. This is your first year brand. That's a number you should know. So the manager themselves has a ratio. It's typically between 10 to 15 to 1. And obviously they're going to be the lowest. Why?
Because they're running an office.
Well, more specifically, why would their efficiency of how many they have to set to get a launch be lower than, an RA?
Wait, why? Oh, why does it have to be lower?
Why would it take you 10 to 15 to get a launch and it takes the RA 20 or 30?
Because I have a higher show.
Yeah, you're just better. You're more efficient, right? So typically, and it changes every single summer, but roughly it's anywhere between 7 to 12, 7 to 15 to 1 for the office manager, the running the office. The assistants are a little bit higher, like 12 to 15, 12 to 20. And then RAs are typically 20 to 1. We'll get probably the numbers for this past summer up to date, but they weren't too far off. Karina, can you speak anything to that you want to speak to, or anything extra?
Yeah, it's usually about 10 to 1 is usually what I say. And we did this, Lonnie, when we did your business plan, but business plan was so long ago. And these are actually numbers you can look up for your office on Vector Live. I can show you how to do that. What happened with you. But yeah, typically anytime you're a manager, that's why assistants, you know, if you guys set PRs, that's why we're stressing that so much. It's better than a receptionist setting PRs because you'll get a higher show.
Yeah, and I'm
The
trying
shows
to
actually
pull up-
weren't that bad from last week, Jeff, if you want me to cover that real quick.
You want to?
We're
Go
already
ahead.
talking about it. Yeah, last week,
Can you give them a reference
only
point of
person
this is where it should be, and then what they got? So
they
know.
should already know this. Who can tell me what's the
Oh.
minimum that you want for a PR show? Who knows? Sam, you go
Percentage,
first.
Everyone's
What?
scared to answer.
Is there a percentage?
What?
Yeah, what percentage do you want as a PR show?
60. At least 40.
I'll take it, but it could be
60.
lower. What's like the minimum?
40?
40.
40. So you
Yeah,
want
he's-
a
yeah, he said
receptionist
that's
normally
good.
gets
That's
about
right.
the receptionist normally gets about 35. Like we'll be okay with the 35, but we want them at a 40. Managers is always 40, maybe a 50. Sierra, you had a 40% show. It's right on the
Yeah.
averages. Sammy, you're a little bit under. You're at 25%. Lonnie was at a 75%. So nice job, Branch. And Lily was at a 60% show. Sebi, you only set 2 people last week. None of them showed. But this week, we'll see. But solid,
Yeah,
solid. I would say as a unit wasn't too bad.
Yeah, this is not accurate because this is adjusted from summer 18. But if you take a look, okay, this is the district manager. You know, they're going to get a certain amount of show. The AMs get a better show. This was a few years ago. So we haven't run all the numbers yet, but it'll tell you essentially. And that's why, Lonnie, we say fire number, you got to get to 15 to 20, because if you don't even get to 10, you don't really get a launch. So by not even getting to 10 PR set, it's like it's like you wasted calls because you got to get to at least 10 to 15 to even get a launch. It's all statistics. So good question. Good. And if it's a little bit over your head, I think you guys get that. Good. Sierra, how about you? What are you curious about?
For me, I have 2 big things for the PR list because I feel like I'm bothering Karina every time. I'm like, hey, who should I call? So do I just pick a newbie and then just go down?
Oh my gosh. Are you reading our mind today? That's on the list today. Good job.
Oh, okay, nice.
That's on our list. That's on our list. Good. That's actually towards the end of the miscellaneous. Good job. And the second question?
Stressed about that. But another thing, my uncle has been bothering me because she's like, I have one knife that does absolutely everything, and I bet you can't find a Cutco knife that can do that. And I'm just like trying to show him like materials, like what we do put into our materials, what we do put into like the handles, the blade itself, like what kind of metal we use. And then the forever guarantee is obviously kind of like a given. But he sent me an Essen Wolf Harden something. So I was wondering if we have a comparison of like, or a list of specific.
Probably not, because what your uncle's probably doing is taking a knife that's either not really a kitchen knife and trying to compare it, or he's taking a really high-end knife that might cost $500 to $1,000 for a knife that a chef professional would use. But number one, there's no knife that does everything. There's just not. And then it really wouldn't be a comparison. Like you can say, no, we don't have that. We don't have a knife that does everything because there's no one shoe that's for everything.
No, I told him that, and he's just.
Yeah, well, we're not really trying to sell your uncle a lot of Cutco anyway, because this is from Luke's first day of training. The dad's always wanted to try and compare, and I'm sure. I hope he enjoys it. I hope he enjoys that knife, whatever knife that is that does everything. Good for him. So we don't have a comparison. So if you want to send me the brand, I can look it up. It's probably, I'm gonna guess he's either getting a professional grade knife. Okay, but we're not a professional company. There are plenty of knives, by the way, that are actually maybe even sharper than ours, or more accurate. But we're not selling to professional chefs that want to spend.
Wolfstead. A block is like $99, so I know they're not good quality.
Yeah, all good. Anyway, Sebi, how about you? What are you curious about? That was a good question, though. That's fun.
So let's say for one office, they make around 10,000 total, right? How would all that get divided throughout all workers? For example, we get 1% or 0.5%. How does that go down the line towards like the factory or towards everything? Does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense. You're saying if an office sells $10,000 in sales for the week?
Yeah. How
What
is
are you
that
asking?
down? like in percentage wise. So like, let's say you make around 5% of that, and Karina makes 20%, or
How does a manager get paid?
yeah, towards that.
We're gonna cover that in one of the monthly preps, but there's a whole pay scale.
Okay.
That's more than like 2 minutes to answer. I can send you the document. Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole, you get paid. There's bonuses. There's the higher the rep goes, the less you make. It's a pretty complex structure. So keep it on the list. That's a good question. As an assistant, it's pretty easy. You guys all have a set percentage. Okay. Karina, anything you want to add?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Sweet. Hey, let's get into the pilot update, everyone. These are good questions. Keep them coming. So as far as our 2020 goals, and Karina, let's screenshot a couple of these just to make sure every week it's the same. So you guys, at some point, if I weren't running this, you guys should be able to repeat this. Okay. So for the rest of this year, our goal is to hit $1.5 million in total sales. We've already eclipsed $1 million. Okay. We'll talk about that. Our goal is to deploy 5 to 10 new offices. So between you guys and the rest of our TLA team, we're looking to have 5 to 10 people that will qualify and be part of what Sammy was talking about, the top 20% of TLA, and go out and run an office. That includes Mila, by the way, who's a district manager candidate, to develop 10 or more assistant managers. So what does that mean? Well, if you think about it, if not everyone runs an office, doesn't that mean that everyone else just becomes an assistant? Well, no, there are people that don't get picked to be a branch and they still won't become an assistant, right? There are people that won't make that cut either. So, but in our office, and in my experience in the pilot, if you don't earn a branch spot, you for darn sure better earn an assistant spot. Like that's just what I expect from you guys, and you will. Okay. In fact, I can't think of the last person. I think I can count on one hand in the last 5 years, someone who didn't earn a branch and also didn't earn an assistant spot. You ever hear someone say, not on my watch? That's how I feel about it. It's like, not on my watch. Okay. And then we're going to develop 25 new TLA members for the fall. So our goal, starting with the people that just finished training to the next couple of months, we want to develop 25 new people who are fired up to join TLA and potentially work towards assistant positions. So here's a quick update. This was actually the last week of the summer. Okay. So we fell a little bit short. Our goal was to sell $1 million for the summer. If you take a look on the right-hand side, so close. We were at $939,000. So here's what's really cool. That was the 4th or 5th biggest summer in the history of Fort Lauderdale. I believe third, $1 million, probably third biggest summer. So hey, nothing to be crying about there. And our new business goal was to do $1 million ideally, but I think the low goal was to hit 740, but we ended up at exactly 704. So again, nothing to be upset about, but just to show you like how the numbers actually finished off. Okay. So valiant effort, and props to Mila for leading those summer goals. And the next thing we want to screenshot, actually, you can screenshot this, Karina, if you want to add this to the group chat, just so we have something to compare to. And if you look at the bottom right-hand number, we are currently at $1 million in sales for the year. So what does that mean? We got another $500,000 to go. What's cool is that the CSPs, their biggest time of the year is not the summer, it's the fall, because they have different fair and show programs. So just food for thought. Okay. So when you think about our goal to do 1.5, we're already at 1 million. Okay. And as far as the fall, specifically to just this fall, you can screenshot this as well. So we'll do this here. Let me know you got it.
Lonnie's doing it actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi, Lonnie. Hey. Okay. And then this one. So our goal, fall campaign, is to sell 300K in new business. And I'm going to show you a comparison. You guys are going to laugh in a second. So 300K in new business. The biggest new business I personally have ever done in my career is probably 180. So I'm telling you, we're going to do more than double, and we really have that opportunity. And the goal is, again, is to do 500,000 total to get us to 1.5 million. Our goal is to launch 200 plus people for the fall, and again, develop more TLA members. Okay. So let me show you, you guys have this already. Let me give you an up-to-date where we are. So the blue at the top represents this week. So let me go quickly. So if you look, you guys can see the columns pretty clearly here. Okay, so Lonnie, if you could screenshot this one, please. So if you look, our team base is projected to be at 15,000, and our new training group is projected to sell 7,500 for a total of 22,500. Okay. Give me a thumbs up, Lonnie, when you screenshot it. I'll move next. I'll get in this slide. Do you know Shift Command 5? You know how that works? Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So if you look, our team base is supposed to be 15,000. Currently, we're just about 5,000. So we're $10,000 off. Okay. And I do think that has to do partly with the assistants not being where they need to be just yet. And it has to do with us not driving the team. So there's some area of opportunity there. And then if you look over here, our goal is to have $7,500 from the new training group. They're actually close to 4. I have a feeling our training group will probably hit their number. Like our training group has a good shot of hitting 7,500 or more. And our goal is to be at 22,500 for the week. We're only at like 8,000 or 9,000. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, we got some work to do, but we also have an extra day. So Sammy, go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah, I have kind of a suggestion that like usually helps me sell more or be motivated and stay motivated throughout the week. It's just a newsletter update. Like I always get motivated. I want to see my name on the top and I'm like, I'm not there. Oh my God. Like I feel like that is just something that really motivated me and I just love seeing it.
Yeah, I think if, thinking about self-motivation, but also how do you motivate your team? Like who do you look at that's so close to the newsletter, or who do you look at that's not even close, that hasn't done anything? You can't wait till Sunday night to address it. You got to know. And it's a 3-step process, isn't it? You have to know their goals going into the week based on your one-on-one. You have to see where they're at after the phone jam, and then you have to follow up throughout the weekend. That would be the 3-step process. You guys see that? Okay. Cool. Karina, do you have any
to Sammy's point, that's actually on my list for this Friday's communication to the team, is to bring back the, hey, here's who's leading the way, who's an order away, who hasn't done anything, that sort of thing, just to give everyone a midweek update.
Okay. And then Lonnie, this next one we're going to do is the projections for launching. So what we have here, the yellow column is where we're actually at. And then the next one says must, should, could. That's basically low, middle, high. You guys see that? So our goal was to be at 50 set, 60 set, or 70 set. We only were at 20 set. And our goal is to launch 15, 18, or 21. We only launched 8. But considering we only had 20 set, this is back to what Karina said. We're really efficient. If you take the efficiency we used here, 20 set should have launched 4 people. But we launched 8. So we're getting there, right? It's not correct where we want to be. Okay. So we're only launched 8, but this is the week we want to come back. And, I don't know that we're poised in this situation to get to 50 set. That's the low number, but I told Karina, we should still get to 30 plus sets. So that's the goal this week. Can we get to at least 30? And if things start to surge, can we get to 40 plus for this week? And then by the 17th, and Karina, you can note this, we're going to hit 50. We have to start hitting 50 for the week. Any questions? Okay. Queen, any highlights you want to recognize and props for people who did certain things well on the assistant side?
Yeah. Props to Lily and Sammy getting to 5 for the week relatively early. I did cover the PR shows from last week, so that was pretty good. You guys been doing a pretty stellar job of getting your friends in. Sammy already has 2 people for her credit for boat day. Sebi. We almost had Adia. I'm not sure what happened with her. Maybe we can get her this week. But she's great. I'd love to see if we can launch her. Lily had David. So getting a lot of PR credit and some sales going in there.
Real quick, let me interrupt you. So who on the Zoom right now has credits for PRs right now?
Sammy has 2. Sebi might have 1. Lily has 1.
Good.
And Lily has 1, yeah.
There is zero reason why any of you should miss this boat. 0 reason, right? In fact, like Sebi, you're not even on the sales report yet. Lonnie, you're not even on the sales report yet. Sierra is barely with like a small order on the sales report. And you guys already have credits for this from PRs. You guys see that? And Sammy, you add on your 2, plus you'll probably be over 1,000, even if you're not over 1,000 just yet. I mean, every 1,000 doesn't have to be for the week, just every 1,000 period. I mean, you're practically at 3,000 out of 8,000 already. So just food for thought. Anything else, Karina, you want to highlight?
Those are, I would say, the tangible highlights. Intangible, I just think is, I think as a whole, team culture, you guys having a lot of conversation with your reps, you can see it in the team meeting, you can see it in, the responses on the WhatsApp. I know Sierra, I think to me stands out. I'm not saying any of you don't, but I know Sierra stands out as someone that, I just think your mini team culture has really excelled. And that's something I can tell from outside looking in. I really enjoy the, like Naveed, who's hopping on later, him like coming up in the ranks, and like Sebi. I'm glad that you beat Naveed's team, by the way. Like there's no way that Naveed can beat Sebi's team, but I'm glad that there's now more competition in who takes the top team for the week. So that's been nice to see.
Excellent. Hey, I forgot to do this earlier. Let's take a picture. Ready? Smile. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, let's get to the miscellaneous list, and then we're going to dive in to Karina. With the projections, maybe right after the AMIs, you and I can do it real quick. I just didn't prepare this Excel sheet. I'm not really prepared for that, so we'll talk at the end.
That's fine.
So, guys, moving forward, I'd like to make this the permanent time. That way we're off earlier instead of going 4:30 to 6:30. I like 3 to 5 a lot better for school purposes, for setting PR purposes. So is anyone going to have a major conflict with 3 to 5 versus 4:30 to 6:30? Sebi, how are you looking with that?
I would say school ends at 2:30, and then I think I can make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Talk to Karina 101. I think we'll work it out. Okay.
I think it's fine, but at like the worst, I'd be a little late just because school ends around 3 o'clock some days.
Okay. And if we have to start at 3:15, I'm okay with that. I just think getting out at 5:15 is way better than 6:30 for not just business, but also personal reasons for you guys and me too. Okay. We just mentioned the contest. All right. So this is the update for the SLC push PCs. I said this at the prep, but Karina will have your PC with you by this Friday, the 11th. That's to map out your, in fact, let me show you the sheet that I want you to have done. You guys can see my files here. Okay, so you'll get this document, which is more or less just a calendar, and it looks like that. It's a shorter, non-summer version of the push. Okay, so when you get that, okay, here you go. So you will have yours by Friday. Then we're excited to develop and teach you how to have one too. Normally we don't let you PC until probably later for the big pushes, but I just feel like you guys are getting it a lot faster, and I want to give you some more advanced stuff to do. So here's the goal. You guys will observe. So you'll get your PC. So as you're getting your PC, that's obviously for planning your push, but also in the back of your mind, start thinking about it as, okay, this is how Karina is helping me get my plan for the push. Then over the weekend, no later than Sunday, I want you to observe, and I don't care if it's multiple people, Karina will just ask permission from the person ahead of time. Like I want you guys to observe a PC. And then on Monday, Tuesday, you guys pick one person from your team to do it with. You don't have to do your whole, like Karina will do the rest of the team, but you could pick one person and you'll do your PC with them, and you'll set them up and you'll post their name on the chat and all that good stuff. Any questions?
By the way, this PC, for those of you that branch next summer, this will be the reason why you have strong pushes, right? Is by having a solid PC to map everything out. It's important that everyone's clear, that expectations are clear. It's key.
Yeah, and part of why Karina and I decided to move this up in the schedule for you is if we do what we're planning to do, I know right now the recruiting is off the pace. We're going to adjust. We're going to fix that. If we are even close to the pace we want to be at, there is no way physically that Karina and Lonnie, who are the only two experienced people on the staff, there's no way scientifically, there's no way they could do the whole team. So our goal is we're so massive, and we're teaching you this so that you're able to, when we get to the Oleum push, which is the SC2 of the fall, you guys will each get like 3 to 5, 3 to 6 PCs times 6. That's already 30 people. And Karina will take the other 30 people, and we'll have like 50 people on the team ready to crush the push. Okay. This is a quick one, leading TLA through the pilot. And you guys did a great job. I didn't give you props on this. So I want to A, give you props now, and B, tell you what I'm looking for. Every time there's an assignment on TLA, anytime there's a, hey, any feedback, anything you can do, remember, you're coming from the pilot, and it's really important. You notice how Mila's always like chiming in, Karina's always chiming in. Notice how Luca's always chiming in. That's because that's all they knew how to do when they were in the pilot as an assistant. Same conversation I had with them is, remember, not in an arrogant way. You're not better than the rest of TLA. You're just in the pilot, which means we just expect you to be vocal and lead through example. Okay, not just CPO, but when the communications come out, when I post something, even just getting some hype emojis in is part of that. Like when I post a contest, you guys are the first ones to comment. When it's hey triple threat, you guys are the first ones to get the triple threats up, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so pretty straightforward. This is something I posted last night and this morning, so just a friendly reminder so that we're on point. There are 3 assignments that will be due for all of our TLA. And Karina, you can share this with the other TLA members who aren't on staff. But CVI and love language, and it wasn't as clear, I get that, Sammy, so this wasn't your fault. I don't want you to post it on the TLA page. I want you to send it to Karina, and she'll update the Excel spreadsheet, okay? So did anyone already do CVI and love language?
I have a question because
Yeah.
didn't we have to do this for the application for AM? So
Yeah. So you might already have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so just send it over to Karina and say, here, you can do it on the AMI chat or the TLA chat, the pilot TLA chat. Just say, here are my scores. Okay, so Sammy is words of affirmation. I'm very much the same way, Tell me I'm doing a great job. I'm way more motivated than you. I don't know, high-fiving me. I guess that's physical touch, right? Okay. And Karina is actually the 6th love language. Food. That's right. It's the unannounced 6th love language that we have created ourselves. Okay. Number 2, make sure you get signed up for Money Honey. And then number 3, make sure you have a planner that you receive. You take a picture of it and send it to Karina so she can update. Okay. Does anyone still need to get their planner? Ooh, Sammy, let me see that. Ooh, color. Ooh. Oh.
That
You
is
had, me at,
slow
you,
clap.
said, you had me at hello. Oh my gosh. All right. Ready? Before I hit this next slide, I just want you to know that creatively, I think I thought I did a really good job here. So we got a bounty up for grabs. You like this one? Get it? Bounty, wanted, hello? Yeah. Hello, is this thing on? Yes. Lonnie, if we could screenshot this one. So I've got $100 bounty, unlimited right now.
Wait, unlimited?
Unlimited right now. Right now. We might have to limit it. Number 1, we just really need to get into quality networks, okay? And one of the biggest things, because some of you don't go to these schools or you're too young to get into the schools, we need to get into email access. Email blast is where someone goes to a school, they can get a listserv. We send the email not to the professors, of course, but to the students, and it puts out an advertisement. Also, those people count for that rep's PRs, okay? We can't do this for high school, but we can do it for college. The 2 colleges we are not in, we need to get into is Nova Southeastern and Broward College. So if you get anyone who gets access to minimum 3, ideally 5 or more classes for email listserv, okay, and Karina, I don't know if there's an approach we can put together on how to reach out, that might be helpful. Anyone that you get to do that, I'll give you $100 straight up. And once we send the emails, even if no one ends up working with us from the emails, you'll still get the $100, okay? This is actually really easy money. But I just want to make you aware of it because we really need to get into Nova Southeastern and we really need to get into BC. The second way to get the bounty is we need more social media recruiting assistants, okay? Now ready? This version, and you can take a note on this so that you're not explaining the job incorrectly. And Karina, make a note. I think we need some verbiage for them for the first bounty and also some verbiage for the second, just what to send to people. I'm looking for a young lady who could work for us as a social media recruiting assistant that will work at most, other than training, which is 2 hours, at most 4 to 6 hours a week. 4 to 6 hours, maybe 8 hours a week. 4, 6, 8. It's not even part-time. It's like a fraction of a part-time. And we just need someone who's Instagram and or Snapchat savvy and present, right? I don't want someone with 10 followers, okay? Someone who really is active on social media, and could get us into different networks in different schools. Karina, are there any specific schools you'd like them to think and target right now that we're not in? Like high schools?
I think we have a list. We have a list on our...
One thing about like the team our team right now, like what schools are we not in? We're in Cypress pretty strong. Oh, and side note, I'm not talking about just people who are in the school now. I mean people who are alumni, like freshmen and sophomores as well. In fact, probably more so
Yeah.
those people. Karina,
Yeah, actually, a freshman in college would be perfect. Westminster.
Westminster Academy.
We haven't had a Westminster in a while. We haven't had Pinecrest in a while.
I think U School we haven't had in a little bit.
U School we had a couple, but yeah, not too many.
Okay.
And,
Archbishop McCarthy.
Yeah,
And
not had
I would
those.
say we haven't had anyone in a while in Chaminade Madonna. We haven't had someone from there in a hot
It's been
minute.
a minute,
and then
Since
Miami
Sebastian Lopez.
Miami Country Day. So I'm just naming some schools. Karina, the third right after this. So we have verbiage for the first one, verbiage for the second bounty, and then third is just a list of schools that we post on the group chat for people to know for the bounty.
Okay. I can
Okay.
type that.
Any
up
question?
real quick.
Any questions on the bounty and how it works? What we're looking for?
Yeah, was it for the social media? What is it called, the position for the social media?
Social media recruiting assistant.
Oh, just the SMRA. Okay, and then
Yeah, SM.
like 4 to 6 hours, you said?
Yeah, anywhere between 4 to 6 or 4 to 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours a week max. We're just looking for someone we're gonna pay them to advertise. They're gonna be a brand ambassador. Okay, that's all it is. It's you can even just say, hey, my company's looking for brand ambassadors to advertise the position. 4 to 6 hours a week, $10 an hour. Okay, I'm saying that to you casually. Karina can get an ad out if you like. Karina, I think I actually even forwarded you one from Mike that might give you some verbiage there. Sierra, go ahead.
Okay.
I wanted to know what kind of posts and stuff like the SMRAs do for, especially their social media, like Instagram or Snapchat kind of thing. Like, is it just essentially like a job ad, the same post that we did for TLA, or what kind of?
Yes, well, in a nutshell, it's what we're doing for TLA, but we change it up way more. You guys only get a post from us, but we give them way more options. And we're looking for someone who's going to work with us for 4 to 6 to 8 hours a week, and it's going to be a 2-week trial period. So someone will work with us, and if we accept them, they're guaranteed 48 hours a week for 2 weeks, and then we'll see if it works from there. It's and this is more prevalent now, specifically in college. I can name 10 different companies right now. One is Bang Energy. I'm a subscriber to Bang Energy. They have people that will work with them for 2 weeks, and if it doesn't work out, they get paid for the 2 weeks, but they at least get the social media networking out. Okay. Karina, this is actually Sierra's question from before when she was curious. You want to talk about getting PR names real quick, and then what we should be wrapping up?
Yes. Okay, can I share my screen?
You can. Let me give you access. You got it.
All right, folks, so you want to take notes on this. I'm going to give you every possible way on how to just be productive. So number one, if you just don't know what to do, I'm going to give you a list of things that you can be doing to set PRs, right? Because most of the time, I will be able to give you direction. Some of the time, though, I'll be in an interview. Like I was in an interview. Like Mondays for me are pretty packed. I have calls, and then I have an interview, and then I have the staff meeting, then I have another interview. So there's not a lot of time for me to, go around. Oh, wait, Jeff, we have the AMIs on. Do you want to, we can give them some direction and then we can switch to this?
Yeah, is that better? Is that better for you?
Yeah, just because they're already on right now. Let me give you guys the draft real quick.
Hold on, real quick.
And then we'll switch it
Let's
up.
do a picture with Naveed and Kayla on now. Ready? 3, 2. Very nice. Okay, why don't you cover what you're going to cover with
Very
them,
nice.
and then we'll come back to this
That's
topic
what I'll
for
do.
everyone else. Okay, cool.
Wait, perfect. All right, we got the draft, folks. Can I get a drum roll, please? I like that. That drum roll sounding nice. We should make that a thing on Wednesdays. All right, so Sammy, you are getting your PRs. Eric and Brian, they will both be going to you because that's the way it is. Lily asked for Eric, but that's before I knew that you had recommended him. So you're getting Eric and Brian on the Fruit Ninja Warrior. Sierra, you're getting Tyler Nieto. I will add you to his debrief chat soon. Tyler's he's a good kid. He's went to Cyprus, I believe, as well, just like you. He's very just excited about everything. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Sebi, you were getting Arturo. I know you had worked with him in training. Yeah, so you're going to get him. He did not make it to advanced training, so I'm going to call him. We're going to figure out to see if he's still a thing before you reach out to him. So don't reach out to him yet. I'm going to call him right after the staff meeting ends. But as of now, if he's still a thing, I'm going to give him to you. Naveed, you're getting Maria Mendoza. She is high communicator. And I know you haven't had a lot of good communicators in the past. I think it'll be a good balance. She's I think this is her first job ever. She's very like calladita, like very soft spoken, but I think you can help bring her out of that because she's very friendly, like she wants to be here. Kayla, you're getting Nevoy Shepherd. Nevoy is also someone who is very, very excited. She only just started doing appointments yesterday. So she's a very like baby new. She didn't even go to advanced training because she had a class or something. So you're getting Nevoy. Lonnie, you are inheriting some stragglers this week. I'm thinking maybe we give one to Sevi if a doodle doesn't work out. But you're inheriting Jose Oro, Aaron Silva, and Caleb and Carla. So you're getting four new ones, but they haven't really been doing much. So you're getting a good bit of them. And yeah, so as a review of what we're covering on the debrief chats today, when I put each of you on the debrief chat, you're going to send the welcome message, welcome to our team. That's an iMessage. Is anyone have any questions on who they're getting, by the way? Do you want me to repeat any of that? Or is everyone good? Okay, cool. So the welcome message is on iMessage. Then tomorrow, we're going to send out the team meeting message, right? I'm going to try to change it up a bit. I feel like the format's been the exact same thing, which is a good thing, but I feel like a nice change in tone, just because I feel like sometimes people just don't read it. So I'm going to try to change up the format. Maybe you'll get more response. I notice a lot of you send it and then you don't get any response. So I'll try to help you out with that. Friday, we're going to do the confirmation for Sunday. And Sammy, if you don't mind helping me maybe on Friday, if I can you help me with the newsletter update since that's what you're about? Thank you. So I'll get that out.
It's about that newsletter life.
Newsletter life. Okay, cool. So I did have a thought, your management tip of the week, right? A little management nugget. Who remembers, what did we cover last week? As a review? Debbie, are you trying to say yeah, go. No need to, you guys can just talk.
Oh, okay. I have inspire, don't require, that kind of thing. Manage through questioning, accountability.
Manage.
And
did anyone practice that this week? Did anyone manage through questions? Yeah, good. So yeah, Sammy, go for it. What's up?
On the management tip, I have a journal for a reason. Don't tell someone to do something. Always say, what's the plan? Like, oh, what do you think the next step is? And like follow up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I give a good example? Watch. I'll give you a talking and telling and talking at someone versus managing through questions. He's Sammy, okay, you need to put this in your planner and make sure you do this and then put that and then put your phone in jam. Got it? Okay, cool. You're going to get the same result from that as when your mom says and tells you what to do. You go, mom, yeah, Okay? Versus, so Sammy, it's not, okay, what can we do here? Or how can I help you? What can we do to help you get more organized so that you're not missing stuff like last week? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Your planner, cool. And when can you do that? Cool. And what would you want to make sure that you put into the planner that you missed last week? Yeah, it's a good idea. Perfect. Okay. So when can I agree? Can we set an agreement of when you're going to send me a picture that you got that done? Yeah, but just make sure let's get an agreement that you can do. Yeah. Did you have the exam? Yeah. 4:00 after, I don't know. How about how about the next day? What's a definite time you can get this done? Does that sound better? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. I'm going to put that. I'm going to text this to our group chat. Did you get it? Okay. So Wednesday, 2:00, update planner. Brilliant idea. And if I don't hear from you by then I'm totally just going to disavow you and you're going to get fired, right? I'm just kidding. But no, but seriously, like, we can't mess this up. Got it? Okay, cool. Awesome. You're awesome. You see the difference? Okay, good.
Yeah. So my thought for this week was how to teach, right? How to give feedback. I feel like a lot of you are having a lot of teaching conversations, and I guess there's never a bad way to teach, but there's definitely an ineffective way to teach, right? Where you're teaching and they're not really, implementing, right? Or grasping what you're saying. So this could be in a skills check that you could implement this stuff. You could do this on a first weekend conversation, right? Where you get a debrief with someone that's done like 5 appointments and they haven't sold a set, and you want to teach someone how to sell a set. This is anytime you're teaching anything. So the first thing you want to write down is, again, you want to ask, are you open for feedback? Are you open for feedback? Or, hey, can I give you a tip? Can I give you a tip? 99% of the time, what are they going to say? Yes. But you're putting them in a state of just being open to receiving information versus, hey, I'm going to give you a tip real quick. So it's like, hey, are you open for feedback? Can I give you a tip? That'll make you a lot of money. Okay. Second thing you want to write down, you want to start with any positive feedback that you can think of. Anything positive, right? Well, first of all, I really liked your demeanor. I really liked how you said this. I really liked that you were confident. I really liked that you called in right after your appointment, or whatever. Just give anything positive. It might be a few things. It might just be one. Right? And then when you're giving your criticism, depending on what it is, right? Instead of telling them, like, yeah, you don't want to say that, which I guess you can say, but you want to say, hey, instead of saying this, I want you to do this instead. So you said this, here's why that doesn't work. Here's something else to do, and here's why this works better. Does that make sense, everyone? Right? So let's say Sebi is that rep that he's not selling sets. And sometimes they'll ask you on the phone, like, how do I get better? Like, how do I sell? Which I love those questions. Like, all right, Sebi, well, at the part where like you're talking about all the knives, yeah, I want you to add this real quick. I want you to say, hey, Ms. Jones, do you ever cut tomatoes? Oh, okay, great. Well, this is the knife you're going to use for that. And then, hey, Ms. Jones, do you ever make sandwiches? Oh, you do? Cool. This is the knife you're going to use for that. So you want to give like a small tip, and then give them multiple examples. So again, the first thing is, instead of this, I want you to do this, and here's why, or add this, and here's why you want to add it. Give 1 to 2 examples. And then you want to say, that makes sense. All right. So all of this that you guys are writing, I say it to the rep first. I say it to them. And then I'm like, all right, now Sebi, I'm going to repeat it to you. Do you have a pen and paper on you real quick? All right, cool. I want you to write this down. And then have them write it down. Because when you write, as you guys are doing right now, right, you're writing so that you can implement it. Just something different happens when you're writing things down. So you want to repeat it and then just do it slowly. They get a chance to write it. So you want to say it verbally. The second thing, you want to repeat it as they write. And then lastly, you want to ask if they have any questions. So do you have any questions? Was that clear? And then what did Jeff mention at the beginning of the staff meeting that's the most important tool to help them? Who remembers? Role play. So if you have time, role play it real quick. So, and again, I think as managers, we have to know our audience, right? So if you're giving a tip to someone that's in their first weekend, my tip to them selling sets is the "do you ever" line, right? If it's one of you guys, right, that's you're all over $10,000 in sales, my tip would be, you want to start at like the complete set, or start at the kitchen, and I'll give you maybe a closing line that might be a little bit more advanced, right? So you don't want to give anything too advanced because they're going to mess it up, right? You have to start at the baby steps. So any questions from, yeah, Jeff.
Can I chime in? Okay, I want to, hold on. So 2 things. Remember, one of the things you'll hear me say more and more and more as you go up with us is you want to meet people where they're at. Meet people where they're at. If you're talking to your mom and your mom is heated, I mean heated and mad, okay? You trying to combat mom ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta meet mom's mad. Okay, you gotta meet her where they're at. You gotta be empathetic. You gotta, if you're with a significant other, if you have a rep that is a brand new rep that just started and has only done 1 appointment, teaching them the kitchen system is gonna blow their head off, right? You're gonna meet them where they're at. But if I'm talking to a rep who's way more experienced, like if I'm talking to Sammy right now, let's say, Sammy, I'm coaching you, and like the real Sammy with the sales you have sold this summer, I'm not going to say, okay, just make sure you follow your manual. Like that's not meeting her where she's at either. So whenever you give a tip, try to think of your audience. And most of the time the answer is, okay, they're new. So make sure I bring the tip down to their level. You guys see that as a light bulb? Because sometimes we over tip people. Sometimes we over teach and we think we're helping them out. We're just hurting them. We're not giving them basics. And then number 2, so ready? This is what Karina was talking about. You guys are hungry? Double stuffed already? You like that? So when you're giving feedback, okay, you give them, watch me, ready? Give the positive, then you give the constructive criticism, and you follow up with something positive again. And here's why. Okay, someone once said, yeah, but people just want sometimes just you to be upfront and direct. I'm just telling you, human psychology, business psychology, I've been doing this for 2 decades. If you don't have someone who's willing to hear the feedback, you've lost. So if you just start with, yeah, well, I'm just going to be brutal. Hey, can I just be honest with you? You ever heard someone say that? Does anyone ever say that? Hey, can I be honest with you? Right away, you're losing some people's ears by saying that. It's like, hey, Sam, I want to, hey, first of all, awesome job. I think you're learning so much. I just really appreciate your enthusiasm. Yeah. Are you open to feedback? Cool. Well, by the way, I just want to say your enthusiasm is awesome. And I think that energy is going to help you do really well. And I want to show you one thing I noticed that I see right away. ... Here's what I think you can fix. Okay. Got it? Okay. Hey, by the way, did I mention how awesome you are and how enthusiastic you are? Or, oh, by the way, did I mention also it's really cool to see that you always follow through in your communication? That's right. So give them a compliment or positive, then correct, and then do it again. Now, there is a school of thought that says, well, that's kind of like, why would you do that? And it just goes, I'm just telling you. Even with that, when I talk to Scott Dennis, and I have a really good relationship with Scott, there are times where at a meeting and I'll say something, he'll say, Jeff, do you mind? Are you okay if I challenge you for a second? He'll ask for permission and he'll say, I think your point's really valid. In fact, I like where you're going with that. Compliment, but here's one thing I think you might not be seeing. Constructive, and at the end, hey, by the way, I think you're on track and I appreciate the feedback. Pop Oreo. Okay? Because if you got someone who's, I don't want to use the term, but something hurt, like, your backside hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not a very professional term, but sometimes if you don't say it right, someone's butt hurt. You ever heard that before? And it's like, they don't want to listen because they're like, oh, you, especially ready, Sammy, watch this, especially if they're words of affirmation. If someone has words of affirmation and you don't start with a compliment or you don't get permission, good luck. They're not hearing it. I'm not here. I'm words of affirmation, so I can tell you.
This is very accurate.
Hashtag
and I think
facts.
even and sometimes it's so awful you might not have anything. The way I do that, I'm like, man, I am so excited to dive in. Like, these are such easy fixes. Once we get this, dude, game over. Like, easy.
Hey, let me role play another one. Hey, Karina, are you open to
Sure.
feedback?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. First of all, I just want to tell you, I love that you're open to feedback and I love that you're willing to be coached. That's going to go a long way. Cool. And what I want to share is what I think I see that's going to be such a glaring thing that you might be missing. Ready? You give the tip. And by the way, you communicate, and then you wrap up with something positive. On a complete, random side in the future. Hold on. Where's this book? Oh, I did not have this book. That is a combination of 1 Minute Manager. Where is the damn book? Oh my gosh.
I mentioned this last week, Jeff. It's like I learned from you or something.
Okay, ready? It's 1 Minute Manager meets Fierce Conversations. Fierce Conversations is book club like 2.0. Like you guys probably won't get that to this year, but I give it to all the district managers. If you have a free read, Susan Scott, Fierce Conversations. Right now, if you don't have time to read, don't do it. Okay.
Yeah. So if everyone real quick can look at your team roster, who lists about 2, if not 4 people that you need to have a conversation with this week, and put that on the AM chat. So these are other people that need to get skills checked. They are a performer that has not been performing, or they just need some love. Minimum 2, 4 plus. I mean, you can do your whole team if you want. Who are you targeting this week for your conversations? Sebby, I like those.
Nice.
Sebby, did you do your group skills check yet?
I tried doing a group skills check, all 3 of them at once, but they didn't have the time for it. So I'm trying to make time
Yeah,
for myself.
it's tough. It's tough to get those done, especially if you're unavailable during the weekend.
Yeah.
Sammy, you can do Brian and Eric. Just talk to me before you do. I can teach you a different PC for those since they're in their fast start.
Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna
Yeah.
do tomorrow though. That's a plan.
That's the plan. All right. So you can have these conversations today or tomorrow, but definitely by tomorrow night, you want to have some type of combo with them. All of you know how to do day 11 PC. Jeff, I don't know if you wanted to review that real quick, or I don't know if we have time for that.
Is that the main topic for the staff only? That's for the team leaders. That's for staff only.
Yeah. No, AMIs can hop off now, but
Yeah. Hey, Naveed and Kayla, I just want you to know it's exciting to have you on board. I really, you have to understand the frame of reference that I have. Karina and I were looking at, like right now, and I normally wouldn't do this, but I think it's good for you guys to appreciate where we're coming from. I'm telling you, we need to get our sales going. We're only at $8,000. Our minimum, like come hell or high water, we got to get to 10. We'll get to 10. But Karina said this, under 15K state of emergency, and we might be state of emergency after this week. And we will respond, all good. You guys will learn a lot from this, okay? But last year, so we're fighting for $12,000 to $15,000. Last year, do you know what we sold this week? Negative 371. So no one sold anything. We had a small team and someone had a returned order. So just some frame of reference, okay? All right, and then number 2, I wanted to say this before Naveed and Kayla hopped off. It's just really cool to watch brand new assistants like delve into the world of management and running our offices. And you guys, I hope you guys are starting to see it when I say, when you were on the staff in the fall and spring, whether you're an AMI or an actual staff member, you were getting way ahead of the rest of TLA. You were getting way ahead in terms of understanding. I think, Sammy, you said this, when I was teaching certain things this weekend, in a humble way, by the way, always humble, there should have been a lot of, oh, I've learned that. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I know that. Karina talks about that because you're pilot trained. So, Kayla and Naveed, biggest thing you can help that has nothing to do with your team is for the bounty. And I want to share this with you too. I'll let you guys in on the bounty as well because we need the help. So this is $100 bounty, cash reward. If you can get a friend who's willing to let us send emails from their, usually it's, what do they call it? Handshake or Blackboard. Your Blackboard email in college. If someone that goes to Nova Southeastern Broward Community College, if you can get a friend that gets us at least 3 to 5 minimum classes where we can send emails to all the students, like we would do it. Or you get a new social media recruiting assistant who launches either this Thursday or we have another training 2 weeks from now that Lonnie and I are going to talk about, how to plan. $100 for each person there. Okay. After the meeting, some point, urgent, Karina, for today, we will get you what you can text your friends to see if they can do the email and what to text your friends to see if they can work the social media position. It's not a guaranteed full-time social media position. It's only 4 to 8 hours a week, and it's guaranteed for 2-week trial period first, and then we see what happens after that. Okay. Any questions on the bounty? Any questions on double stuffed Oreos? Double stuffed Oreos. Sierra,
Yeah.
yes. What's your question about double stuffed Oreos? Yes?
It was a question about the bounty.
Ah, fine. What?
So for the bounty, I have a question on, can it only be from the specific schools like BC, Nova, or are you looking for other schools?
It's just UCF won't help us, you know?
No, yeah, no, I don't mean
Like it
UC.
might.
How about this? Like what school are you thinking about?
Well, since I'm from Cyprus, I know people from Cyprus who would probably be willing to do that, but I don't know if we already have SMRAs for Cyprus.
Oh, I see. Now we're doing specifically for college because we don't do the email blast to high schools. That probably answers your question.
Yeah.
But if you have Cyprus friends that go to Broward, Nova, also FIU, right? If they're local, if you know someone that goes to FIU, those are the 3 schools, Broward schools.
Is Palm Beach State okay or no?
No, that's still a little bit far north for us.
Okay.
Lonnie, go ahead.
Did you say FIU or FAU?
FAU, I'm so sorry. Atlantic in Broward, Florida Atlantic. Good call. Good catch. You go, okay, Branch. Catching the mishaps. All right, Naveed and Kayla, you guys are good to go. Nice work. Keep me posted. And Naveed, enjoy your vacation on the beach, okay?
I will.
Bye, Kayla. Bye, Naveed. See ya. Oh, man.
All right.
Can I say that Naveed is just so cute? I would not say that with him in front of us, but that guy's adorable. He's truly adorable, that kid. Okay.
Yeah. You say Naveed, it's just Naveed.
Oh, I'm going to keep saying Naveed then. I like it. Naveed. Hey, Navid. We'll call him Navid. Okay. Karina, I think your topic
Yeah, let me
was
get
this,
back
right?
to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Ready? Switch modes.
Okay.
We're switching modes back to how do you know who to call PRs and not have to haggle? Karina.
Yes. Okay. So, here we go. So all of you on your Google Sheets should have a bunch. Well, I have probably a lot more than you do, but I'm going to give you kind of like the ones like your go-to, like the first one you should go to, and then the second one. So Fort Laud only. You should have access to this because I put this on the WhatsApp group. And Lonnie, if you can do your magic and like hiding most of these later, that would be great.
Got you.
Yeah. It's just loading. Anyway, so everyone on here is from the triple threat post from anytime there's a triple threat post, it comes here. So look, we have a ton. Nice. This is probably from yesterday's advanced training. So all of these need to be called, and they are all interested, which makes these the easiest to call through, and you'll set the most, okay? Make sure you're taking extensive notes, right? So Sammy called, and she set them for 2:20 on Monday. Sammy called Kevin. He didn't answer, so she texted him, okay? So the reason why we want thorough notes is because there's 6 of you calling, and we obviously don't want the same person to be called twice. And we want to make sure that everyone's being spoken to. All right, so that's sheet number 1. Sheet number 2 is Broward student work responses. Now, if you notice, there's some that say Fort Laud and some that say Boca. These are from an email blast. So these won't always have, but we usually send email blasts out in the beginning of the week, right? These are also people that are interested, okay? So you want to only contact the Fort Lauderdale ones, and then again, take extensive notes. Something to keep in mind, sometimes people will have like a double application. So if you notice Vashti here, and then Vashti's here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this because, you know, it's the same person. So if you ever see that, just go ahead and erase the duplicate so that, again, that person is not called twice. All right, any questions so far? Cool. Next list you should be calling. I don't think you guys have access to this sheet yet, so I will send it in a second. There's a sheet called SMRA messaging and PRs. Okay. You're going to click that, and there's a tab that says social hour. So if you notice on Mondays, or now what might be on Sundays, when people send like those heads up text messages, we put them here. So you can actually go, so let me show you how to do this. So these are actually easy to call too, because all these people had a heads up they were going to be called. So if you notice, Alex did not answer, so whoever called this texted it. But Ana Maria over here was called but never texted, right? So that is basically like a lost recruit, because they were given a heads up, we called them, but they didn't realize that it was us, they didn't answer, and then we never reached out to them again, most likely. Let me teach you how to find that. So you're going to Vector Live. Please take notes on this part. It's not a lot of steps, but I know this is a very like new site to each of you. So you're going to go to recruiting. Personal recruits. So recruiting, personal recruits. And you're going to click personal recruits again. Okay. You're going to put referred by. And I think I taught this to you guys already. Make sure that this is checked. Actually, I can show you an easier way. I take it back. I'm so sorry. Go to applicant search, and you can type in Hamza, for example. We're going to go to Hamza's people. So let's say he has Amin over here. Wait, Hamza did not show up. Why didn't he show up? So if someone doesn't show up, it means that it was over 30 days ago, potentially. Let me just do it again. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to go down, and then here's everybody that he recommended. And then if you noticed, Amin, it doesn't say. So these are the notes, right? So sometimes when someone calls, it'll put like not interested, for example, right? So let's go to Amin, and now I can call him. There's his number. So the first list is the Fort Lauderdale only.
So
That's
there's
the easiest.
calls is what you're saying.
What?
What you're saying is there's endless amount of calls.
There's endless. And there's actually another way you can, there's even more calls you can make. So I'm just giving you guys the easy ones that like, these are probably going to be the ones that you can schedule. So this is easy. This is pretty easy, right? This is from an email blast. And then these are people that they might not necessarily be interested, but they did get a heads up that we would reach out. So they're probably easier. Please take extensive notes. It's very embarrassing on our end, and the rep that recommends them, here's why. You don't want to double call people. It makes them unmotivated to recommend even more people, right? So we need to make sure that we're very meticulous about the notes. If you don't know what to put, just text me, but just make sure that you're writing like it's Sammy, it's Lily, it's Sebi, whoever, right? You can also go here. This is like everybody's called through, all the social hours done, right? You can go to the training log. So let me show you how to go to the training log. So this is this Thursday, the 10th, but we want to go to last week, the 3rd, right? And if you notice, everybody that has a little green dot started with us. All right, so if I can click on Arturo, boom, here's all of Arturo's people. Okay, so you have endless amount of people to call. Yeah, Lonnie?
Wait, how'd you get to Arturo's people on Vector Live? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Sorry.
Anyway, I don't think you'll get to that step, but you might. What's up, Sebi?
So I never got the Broward student work spreadsheet.
I'm going to repost the links, but if you go to google.com/sheets, it should pull up all the sheets that you recently opened.
Yeah, I don't think I ever opened that before. I'm looking
Got
at
it.
it now.
I'll repost it anyway. I'll post it now as we wrap up.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll label them too. So yeah, Jeffrey, if you want to,
That was good. I just want to point out that I don't have my headphones on.
whoa,
Just like,
Was that
Look
a
at-
big deal the other day?
look
Was that a
at-
big deal?
like skinnier and like
You're so funny. I love it. Okay, really? Karina, can you cover this real quick with the crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you could share the screen if you need to. Just let them know. Let me preface this. We sent out all those triple threats from Saturday, and we used FL Student Work, which is a site. And if you take a look, this is, if you guys haven't been to the website already, Oreo. Okay, it takes people to this site. And notice it doesn't give a lot of information on purpose. It just gets people to pick a place where they live. So they pick here, and then they get to the application. Pretty straightforward. Now the difference between Broward Student Work that Sebi just mentioned and FL Student Work that the whole division used, and we won't do this again, but we did it for this one, is that there are some people that go to Luke, and some people that go to Orlando, and some people that go to us. Okay, so Karina, can you cover, maybe share a screen and make sure we're doing it fairly?
Yeah, well, I already showed what the responses look like. It's the second link. Let me turn the light.
I
yeah,
just
so
want
it'll say
to
either
make
Fort
sure
Lauderdale
that they
or-
know who they're supposed to and who they're not supposed to connect with and call.
Yeah, I already showed that, but I can do it one more time. So it's this one. So it's anyone that has Fort Laud is you can do it. If they don't have anything, which Lori's been doing a great job of keeping up with it, but if they ever don't have anything, just don't reach out because we need to make sure that the zip code is for our office.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, thumbs up if you got that. Okay, I know you covered it earlier. I just want to make sure that there's no
You're
discrepancy.
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, ready? Here's a big question. Everyone's favorite type of ice cream. Okay, and you don't think it's got to be. Sammy, go.
unmuting. I didn't have to think about it. So it's like Cold Stone strawberry ice cream mixed with cotton candy with gummy bears. Really, really good. It's really, 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 really good. No, seriously. It sounds,
Ready?
just try it.
To each their own. To each their own. To each their own. Okay, Sebi.
Dulce de leche.
Oh, of course. Of course. That's not straight. The next one would be what? Guava and cream cheese
What did he say?
for Karina. Okay. He said dulce de leche. Lani.
Cookie dough.
Sierra.
Chocolate with brownie and Kit Kats.
Karina.
Cold Stone strawberry cheesecake.
Nice.
Or
Mine
the
is-
guava
mine is,
and cheese
mine is
that I
butter
had at
pecan or pralines and cream. Very nice. Very
The
nice.
guava and cheese that I had at your house, Jeff, was
Oh, that was pretty good too.
straight great. So good.
Can I say something about that Oreo?
Yeah, sure.
Jeff, I don't think it's double stuffed. I think it's ice cream in the middle.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's an ice cream sandwich. So that's why I said it. Okay. Let's do this. Let me quickly go through the expectations and we'll wrap up with the PC. Karina, are we covering day 4 only or just day 4 or a review of day 11? You tell me.
I don't know if we have time to teach day 4, so we can just review day 11.
Okay, so a couple of staff expectations. And Miss Lonnie, if we could shift Command 5 ready for just a friendly reminder. Personal sales 500 minimum, so you have 48 hours, or less than 24 hours actually now, or less than 48 hours rather. PR set, you got to get minimum to your 5. By 2 weeks from now, I'm really expecting your minimum to be 10. Even though 5 is the standard, like you can't go below 5, you're going to get it to, you can get 10 pretty quickly, especially with what we just covered. Number 3, obviously role models, and you guys were so awesome. I posted that TLA message, and you guys were on it just like that. Navid was on it, Sierra and Samara, or Navid. Okay, office expectations. We should definitely get over 10, but we're still going to be under 15K, which means we're code red emergency. What does that mean? It means we really have to get focused on adjusting our team, and we have to have a heightened sense of awareness and action steps. That's why, by the way, this is really going to help the bounty. Okay. And tonight, again, Karina's top 2 things coming out of this will be scripts on how to get someone to get their email in scripts. And Karina, we can go back and forth on this, on how to get new SMRAs. Okay. Last thing, communication, making sure you're checking WhatsApp. You guys are actually great with that. Karina, would you say they're pretty good with WhatsApp communication? I think so, for what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And ready? Before I take you guys to a quick review of day 11, we're going to wrap up right at 5 o'clock. Let's get some action steps. So go to your notes or wherever you would be able to look at this coming out of the meeting. For me, I usually do my action steps on my computer because I have a to-do list and I'll put that on there. So take a few seconds, 30 to 60 seconds and focus on 3. What are the 3 most important action steps coming out of this for you to impact the team, impact your standard, or it might even be something for some of you. It's knock out this pop quiz that was sprung upon me today that's due tonight so I can open up myself. Like sometimes it can be a personal related action step to open you up to be a better assistant in more time. Take 30 seconds and everyone's going to share their action steps, because I'm from the Midwest now, action steps. And then I teach to review the PC. Which, Karina, correct me if I'm wrong. They're going to start doing the day 11 PCs. Really, it's actually a PSP, isn't it? Like that's what they would use.
Yeah, they already started last week, so we don't really need to teach it. We just kind of need to review it. I think everyone only did 1.
Okay, maybe I'll let you do that then. I'll pull it up. Can you just share what you want to make sure because I really wasn't in the loop of what they did. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have that on you, or do you want me to have it?
Action steps. I'll pull it up, and then you can review.
Okay.
it. Okay, let's start with Lonnie.
Give some love to my babies on my mini team. Set some PRs and then phone jam.
What are you at right now for the cycle, PRs?
For this cycle, I'm at like 2.
Okay, so 3 more to hit the minimum and another 8 to hit ideally where we're at. Okay, good. Let's go Sierra, Sammy, and then we'll wrap up with Sebi.
Make more calls, do more demos, just phone jam after the meeting, call my PRs. I'm shooting for 10, so I can kind of like help out the number there.
Good.
Do my TLA homework, essentially just text Karina my
Assignments.
Yes, my assignments, and then do my PCs.
Good. Okay, we'll go to Sammy and then wrap up with Sebi before we turn things back to Karina to finish up.
So I'm gonna book 2 more PRs like right now, and then really just focus on doing the personal consultations more diligently and effectively by like putting into what you guys just like talked about, because I haven't really been doing those steps, but I wrote them down and I'm gonna follow that.
Okay. Hey, Karina, I'm just thinking there's 4 more minutes left. I really want, especially for these guys because they're in school, I want to respect the time that we do this. Could it be a voicemail, a voice app of just some tips for the day 11 PC after this call?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just don't
sure.
I just want to make sure we're not.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions on the day 11 PC, like you did it and you felt like you were off on something, let me know individually, and then on the group I'll post.
Yes. Okay. So one action step right when we end this Zoom in 4 minutes, I want you to WhatsApp Karina one-on-one and say, okay, I like less than 20 seconds. Anything that wasn't as comfortable, you had a hard time with when it comes to the day 11 PC. So let me re-forward the day 11 PC real quick. And there you go. And while you're at it, I'm gonna forward the day 4. Can you star both of these, please, so no one asks for this again?
Oh yeah, and star the links too.
Yeah. So start the social. Yeah. Start the links. Okay.
Right now, Sierra and Lonnie and Sebi get first dibs on those links because you guys haven't hit your 5 yet.
Okay.
And if you want to send more PRs,
Cool.
I'm not
Sebi,
opposed
can we
to,
do,
call us.
action steps for Sebi?
Yeah, so for action steps, I would say get my PRs done for the week, probably 5 plus.
Mhm.
I'll get my last demo before the weekends too.
Cool. Are you on vacation still? Or is that home? Is that
Yeah,
home?
so vacation. No, I have my family walking around the hotel.
Oh, that's cool. Where did you guys go?
To Cocoa Beach. Went surfing the whole weekend, family
Oh,
time.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I and the division manager in Georgia, we're going to Amelia Island in a couple weeks. So cool.
Oh, nice.
We'll have fun up there. Karina, you want to wrap us up with action steps for the pilot, and we'll get these guys out of here. What a great session. I have a final thought at the end.
Yeah. Action steps for you guys individually. We need to set up your SLC PC. So I'll reach out. It'll most likely be maybe tomorrow, but most likely Thursday, Friday. Combo of that, which is when I have my calls with you guys anyway. And let's get on those SMRAs. We have SMRA training on the 10th. So if you guys can get us someone by then, that would be ideal, and that will fast track to get us to
just to clarify, ideally, if we can get someone, we'll call a brand ambassador. If we can get a brand ambassador that's hired in the next 48, 72 hours, so they can train with Mila on Thursday. Worst case, our next training is going to be 2 weeks later, the week of the 21st. Okay. And I think that might even be the better way to explain it. Instead of SMRA, Karina, I think we just say brand ambassador.
Sure.
We really are just looking for an ambassador right now. Okay. Lonnie and then Sierra.
That SMRA training, what time is it?
That's going to be in the evening. It's either 5 to 7 or 4 to 6. We'll find out from Mila.
Okay, thank you.
The key is just get someone interested for an interview, and then we'll figure it out.
For that, I haven't. Oh.
Sierra, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna ask because I don't really know anyone from the schools that we're looking for. So do we have a specific message I can send them on Instagram? Maybe just see if I can get them that way.
Yeah, Karina can hook you up with that for sure. Now remember, for the bounty, it's Nova, FAU, and BC. But for SMRAs, it's those.
I listed the schools.
It's those high schools that we just listed off. Okay. Cool. And you know what? If you went to Cyprus, Cyprus is so big, we could use another SMRA from Cyprus. It's like 4 high schools in one. So why not?
We do Douglas.
Yeah, sure.
Question for the sheet for the SMRAs. What is handle? Says like Instagram name and then handle. What is handle?
Handle is like your username.
It's the at whatever it is, and then name is what their actual name is.
Their username. Okay.
Like my handle is Boogie Inc. BOOGIEINC, but clearly my name is Jeff Gimbo. Okay. Good. Hey guys, I just want to say it's really fun running these staff meetings. I mean, I think Lonnie, you're starting to get a little bit more of an understanding why this is so great. And Karina, I don't know about you, but the word refreshing, excited, overly optimistic about the group that we have. It's also fun. Ready? One of the factors of being on the staff is we have to want and like working with you. And I just want you to know we want and really like working with this group. It's fun. You're motivating. You guys make us want to, you make Karina and I want to deliver a great meeting for you guys. And it's fun. I'm really enjoying this. Karina, any final thoughts? Party shots from the leader?
Don't mess up.
Yeah, don't mess up or you're fired. That's a great motivator right there. Okay. Hey guys, for sake of time, how about you hop off, post what you appreciate on the group chat, and Karina will get to some messages afterwards. Okay. Post what you appreciate and then send her a one-on-one message on the day 11 PC. Thanks everybody. Appreciate your time. Take care now.
Bye-bye then.
Karina, stay on real quick. Hold on.